SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. SBR Forum Videos, I'm Peter Loshak. This is part 2 of Doug Upstone Against the World, a weekly show that we do where we compare Doug Upstone's picks that he's submitted to SBR for 2 articles that he writes for us every week, and compare them to the rest of the opinions that we've gathered over the week. In part 2, we're going to look at the games that Doug Upstone recommends that we should just avoid altogether. Games where there's no value to be had. Doug Upstone, thanks for being back with us this week.
How you doing, Peter? I'm doing great myself. Everything is looking good. Excited about week 2. Should be a really good week, and some strong games to look the other way.
Okay, well, we'll see what you have to say about that. Number 1 game to avoid this upcoming week, week 2. Which is it?
Jacksonville at Oakland. Now, the Jacksonville special teams outscored the offense last week, so that's really a bad sign for any offensive team. With Oakland, though, do you really want to take a team that's 9-23 as a home favorite? Peter, this is my pick your poison game of the week.
All right, I previewed this game with Troy West. We kind of liked Oakland -6. We think that Terrell Pryor was pretty impressive in his game. He was able to create plays with his feet. We like the way Oakland's defense played, and we think that Jacksonville, even with Henne and now a quarterback, that Jacksonville just doesn't bring much to the table at all. We think that Oakland is in a good frame of mind. They're going to be motivated, and they're going to be able to get a win and cover at -6. But you might be right. Oakland -6. That's asking a lot.
I won't disagree with the victory, but the points, with that, too many points with Oakland.
Exactly. You may have a good point there. All right, game number 2 to avoid. Doug Upstone, go.
Game number 2, St. Louis at Atlanta. Now, Atlanta deserves to be a touchdown favorite in this case, but Jeff Fisher has always been a great underdog coach, and last year they were 7-1 against the spread as a road dog. However, in this case, Atlanta with Coach Mike Smith, they're 18-5-2 coming off a spread setback. Myself with the 7 points, stay away.
That's pretty savvy there, Doug Upstone. I previewed this game with Jeff Cadillac. I said if I was going to bet the game, I'd take St. Louis. He likes Atlanta, and we agreed that, Atlanta has a ton of weapons on offense, but their offensive line was so suspect. So it really all just comes down to their offensive line. If they can give some protection for Ryan, they'll probably get a double-digit win. If they can't, St. Louis is probably going to stay within the number. Great point. I have to say, kind of agree with you there, Doug Upstone. All right, game number 3 to avoid. Go.
Game number 3 is the Sunday night games, San Francisco at Seattle. Now, the game opened at 3, has been ping-ponging around between there and 2.5. This year's a little bit different. This week's a little bit different because last year they were on a short week and one of the games, and the other one, San Francisco, was off a big road win at New England. I think the point spread's inconsequential here. I think the number's too low. I think it's best to avoid and just watch the game and enjoy.
Yeah, Doug Upstone, I agree with you again. I previewed this game with Scott Kellen, one of the most respected NFL cappers around, and I looked at the spread. I said, this is definitely a spread to avoid. I was sure he was going to take make a pick on the total. Turned out he likes the underdog. He likes San Francisco getting 3, but I agree with you. I think that the spread is a complete pass. I don't agree with you in that I think that the total might be a great play. The over 44, I'm loving that one. But as far as the spread is concerned, absolutely agree with you. Complete pass for me. But Scott Kellen likes the underdog there. All right, Doug Upstone, thanks so much once again this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
That sounds great, Peter. Talk to you then.